Hi guys, welcome to Origin. I've just had an epiphany. I'm not a metalhead. I like heavy music. I like the guitar sound. I like everything about metal. Except for one very important thing. I don't despise with every fibre of my being mainstream artists. I just watched a video of the Metallica Napster controversy. I couldn't believe the number of comments just ripping Metallica for what they did. For anyone that doesn't know about this controversy, I'm now going to explain it to you. In 2000, Metallica discovered that the song I Disappear that appears on the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack was leaked and received radio airplay, and they tracked the source back to Napster. At the time, Napster was an illegal file sharing service, much like LimeWire is now. When they found the source, they discovered their entire discography available on the site. What did they do when they discovered this? They sued Napster. For all those that don't understand the metal community, let me just say that when a band sells out, and this is very strictly applied in this community, then respect plummets, and I really mean plummets. It actually happened to them in 1991 after the Black Album. Now let's think about this for 1 second, shall we? Metallica's initial attitude towards stuff like this. Well, back in the day they had bootlegs, they had live recordings which their fans would pass round of certain live concerts that they've been to. Now the thing is that they knew about this and they let it happen. So you can kind of understand the backlash when they discovered this thing with Napster. Here's the mistake that Metallica fans make. It's not the same thing. Live performances are not always recorded professionally. They're just recorded on these tapes which people pass round. You know, they're not losing any money for it. They're not, you know, they're actually gaining respect for something like that. Their name is being elevated, if you like. With Napster, all the recorded works go for free. They just get maybe a mention because their stuff's up on the site, but that's it. They don't benefit at all from this. Certainly to no justifiable significant degree. Now another thing is that when this happened, Lars Ulrich, the drummer of Metallica, clearly stated that it's not about the money, it's about control, that they didn't know that this was happening, that Napster never asked them that this happened. That's why they sued them. And let's face it, if your unfinished song was receiving airplay, wouldn't you do something about it? But none of this should even have to be justified, because in the end it's their choice. Any real Metallica fan would respect the decisions they make as a band. For me, being a Metallica fan is just the music. As long as they produce relatively decent music, I'm happy. And even if they come up with something like Saint Anger again, I'm not going to defect just instantly. Here's another interesting point to make. How is it that Joe Satriani sues Coldplay when one of Coldplay's songs has a very small segment in it that sounds a bit like an obscure song that Joe Satriani did a few years ago? How is it that when that happens, Joe Satriani gets tons and tons of respect for it? All you have to do is look at one of his videos to see that. There's no claims that he's selling out, nothing like that. But when Metallica sues someone, they just get demolished. Now, maybe that just shows how intolerant the metal community is. So, I'm right to call myself not a metalhead, because this is just ridiculous now. I don't want to be associated with a genre that just defects at the first sign of one mistake by one band. No, none of it. Right? I will still make metal-based music as Axis. I'll also continue listening to metal, and I'll continue with the trench coat and whatever, you know, all that stuff. But that's it. I'm fed up with this stupid, pathetic, intolerant community. Give me one good reason why I should call myself a metalhead when stuff like this is actually indicative of the genre itself. When fans like this are expected to behave like this. Come on, give me one good reason. No? Didn't think so. Okay. That's it then. Bye bye metalhead label. Been waiting so long to get rid of my own labels. I'm glad that one's gone. But yeah, that's all for today. Please, if you like metal, don't just become a sheep to this ridiculous community. Think for yourself. If a band does sue someone, don't just instantly hate them because you're expected to. And don't hate mainstream artists because you're expected to. Give it some thought. Like the things you genuinely like. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.